Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back. Today we are keeping the action going with the Iron Man Legend Series Titanium Man. All right, so I picked this guy up at Geeky Mamas, that store I mentioned in the review of the Marvel Select Black Widow figure. So yeah, I was there recently looking for something to pick up for a friend, and I did see this guy when I was there my first time, and I was hoping that they would still have him, and luckily they did. So I went ahead and picked him up because I was actually looking for this guy, and I think I saw a few listings of him on like Mercari, and this was like shortly before I went to Geeky Mamas for the first time, and so when I saw that they had him. In one of their display cases, I was like, oh man, yeah, I gotta come back and secure this guy before somebody else does. So there he is in the packaging, as you can see. Iron Man, the Armored Avenger, Titanium Man, Legend Series, comes with the double missile launcher, and of course this is made by Hasbro. Here's a look at the back, and we got a quick read up. I'll read it to you guys. It says, as a loyal KGB agent, Boris Volsky was more than happy to undergo the experiments that increased his size and strength and wear the massive armor that turned him into the Titanium Man. He was assigned to embarrass the United States by defeating Iron Man in open combat, but the armored hero's fighting skills and superior technology defeated the massive Russian armor. Hey man, you can't beat Iron Man, man. That's the invincible Iron Man, bro. You can't do it. But yeah, man. So there we go. Here's a quick look at the other figures in the wave. We got the Iron Man Mark 6, which I do own. Probably gonna get another one because his paint is very faded. Hulkbuster Iron Man and War Machine, and I do have that War Machine as well. But yeah, and so there it is. I'm gonna get this guy out of packaging, and we will get this review started. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope you guys all had a great Labor Day weekend. I had a great time, man. I was with the fam, we hung out. It was a real good time. So I hope you all had a blessed and safe Labor Day weekend as well. And yeah. Hopefully I can keep you entertained and inspired with a new review after the nice long weekend. Alright, so he came out of the package very nice and easy. Let's get him out. Alright, there we go. We got his accessories. That one popped out of the package. My bad, y'all. Didn't mean to scare y'all. That one popped out on me. Was not expecting that. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and try to measure this guy out first and foremost so we can get that out of the way. Let's just see roughly where he stands at. Let's see here. He stands at just under 6.5 inches. So maybe like 6.49 inches tall. So he's just about 6.5 inches. So that's a pretty good height for this guy. He should be a kind of tall character. He's in some big, bulky armor. So he should have a good amount of height to him. And plus you'll see in a minute, he's got these pretty clunky type of shoes. So that should definitely elevate his height once he's inside the armor. But here we have Mr. Titanium Man. And it's a very dope looking figure, man, right off the bat, I gotta say. Looks like he's a little lopsided in the camera. Let me see if I can make him look more straight here. Okay, there we go. It kind of looks like he's leaning in the camera, and that's honestly just because of the way his legs are right now. But he's standing up straight, even though it doesn't really look like it. But yeah, just trust me, he's pretty much standing straight. So yeah, there is Titanium Man. So this guy, like I said, I've wanted for a minute. I was actually, I saw those listings on Mercari, and I never did get around to picking him up. And I was actually trying to decide between this particular Titanium Man and the one from the video game, because they did make a figure after the Iron Man 1 video game. So for any of you that have played that game, you guys probably might remember who I'm talking about. There's a boss fight where you had to fight the Titanium Man in that game, but it's a very different design than this one. I believe that figure is probably, I want to say, shorter than this one. And he has like a more black design, like his costume is mostly black and it just kind of has like green highlights in it. And I think in the game, yeah, it kind of made him look like he was like glowing, which was like a pretty cool effect. But yeah, this guy, I kind of wanted this guy more, this particular version, just because green happens to be my favorite color, for those of you that don't know. And I just really like, the green look of this outfit. Yeah, I just like, the bulkiness of his armor and everything. Look at these huge, shoulder pads. That's really dope. And it's got a nice, smooth, matte finish to it, as you can see. Here's a look at the back of him. Look at that. That looks dope. Look at that detail for the spine. Everything going down, all the little panels going throughout. And then, of course, you have like the gunmetal type of silver for like the underlying parts of the armor. So it just looks really cool, man. So I'm going to go ahead and slide him over here real quick, and then we'll take a look at the accessories. So he does come with a missile launcher, which is this right here. Nice green plastic, same color as his armor. It looks like it's got like all these like turrets and things right here. These little pieces sticking off, almost looks like, maybe some turrets or things that can shoot bullets and stuff. So that's really cool. It's got 2 holes right there, as you can see. You can see in there, and going all the way through. And then you get this, you get 2 of these missile launch pieces, which are basically just done in a kind of reddish orange plastic, like a red orange. Kind of just looks like a comic streak or something like that. You can obviously plug those in to his missile launcher, those 2 holes. Let's see which way. Okay, yeah, I guess they go in. So I guess they're gonna go in this way. So here's the missile launcher with the firing effect pieces inside, like that. So that looks pretty cool. And then of course there's a button right here on top, so you can fire those off. Let's see how far they go. Let's see. It's not going. Let's see, did I put them in right? Oh, okay, my bad. You gotta push them all the way so you can hear those clicks, because yeah, there's a spring mechanism inside. So you want to push them in far enough so that you can hear those clicks, and that's kind of how you know that it's all the way in there. So now it should fire off. Let's see. That was pretty cool. nice launch distance. So that works perfectly fine. I like that. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that aside, and that's pretty much like the only accessories he comes with. See, are there any catalogs for this guy? Nah, no catalogs. It's not like Spider-Man, but still, very, very cool. Nice extra accessory to have, especially for a kid. Kids would probably have a lot of fun with that. But anyways, here we are with the Titanium Man once again. So here he is. So let's get into articulation, and then we'll take a closer look at him. So he can move. He's got a ball hinge shoulder, and I see that these shoulder pads can actually lift up a bit. So that's awesome. That gives him a little extra room for range. You put his arm up, so he can get his arm up to a complete 90, which is awesome. Down by his sides, of course. You probably won't be able to rotate them all the way around. Ooh, that's kind of clicky. Probably just because it's been in the package so long. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to get his arm in like a full, 360 windmill type of action, just because this shoulder pad is so huge. Even though it goes up, it's not going to get out of the way completely. So you can he can swing his arm forward and back that far until it runs into the shoulder pad. He does have a bicep swivel. So that's very nice. Very good bicep swivel in there. double jointed elbows. So he can get, he's a kind of a bulky figure, and then he does also have like a wrist or like a forearm kind of guard or band right there. So it kind of runs into the bicep. So you can only really get about a 90-degree bend, but that's not bad, especially for, you know, this guy being a heavily armored figure. So that's pretty good. And let's see, for the hands, there is a swivel. We do have a full 360 swivel for the hands, as well as a hinge. So you can hinge the hand down, up, and then if you swivel it, you know, in and out. So that's really good. I like that. So I'm gonna get his arm down by his side here. And for the head is actually a little loose on mine. I don't know if that's like a universal thing or maybe just on my copy, but the head can look down about pretty much all the way down. He can pretty much tuck his head in there, and then looking up, let's see if I can make him look higher. Yeah, there we go. Can look about that high up, so I think that's pretty decent. Yeah, I'd say that's like decent enough for like a flight pose maybe. So you get that. I want to say his head's on like a, oh yeah, it looks like it's like a ball and a hinge. It's like a hinge. You can see the hinge in the back of his head actually, back of the neck. It's got a hinge right there. Let's see if can you rotate it? Yes, you can. And kind of, let's see, I don't know if it'll, oh, okay. I think it's gonna actually stop about like right there, just because his shoulder pads actually have like this piece that sticks down and into the, you know, the shoulder, or, you know, close to his neck. And so I don't think he's gonna be able to rotate a full 360 without running into that. So maybe you might be able to like lift the head over that and then rotate it, but I don't know if I would necessarily suggest that. But yeah, there is that. He doesn't have any torso articulation as far as I can tell, or at least, you know, upper torso. There's no diaphragm joint or ab crunch cut or anything like that. Let's see, unless I'm tripping. Yeah, I think it's really just one solid piece right there. But he does have a waist swivel, so that's nice. Can swivel the waist, so that's always good. Leg articulation. Looks like, okay, he's got like kind of like that ball and hinge type of joint that the old Iron Man figures had. So you would kind of have to manipulate the hinge in order for him to kick up. And even then, he kind of goes out to the side, unfortunately, just because, you know, he's kind of too bulky to kick his leg straight up. Like the thigh, the sculpt of the thigh runs into, you know, the, I guess the diaper piece, whatever you want to call it, you know, this waist piece right here. So you can't really kick it up straight out. And then same thing, kind of going backwards, it runs into the sculpt. So can't really get back all that far, unfortunately. But out to the side, which is kind of where the hinge is already fixed, you can kick the leg about like that far out to the side. So that's pretty good. Kind of get him like, I guess you could kind of get him into some splits if you have the hinges lined up, or like close to splits. So that's all right. Let's see. Looks like we got a double jointed knee, which allows him to bend about that far. So a little more than 90, so that's all right. And then extend back out, and we have a hinge in the foot. It's a nice hinge in the foot, so you can hinge down and hinge up about that far. No, you know, ankle swivel, ankle rocker, or anything like that. Oh wait, he can rotate his foot. His foot can rotate all the way around, but he doesn't have any like pivot, you know, side to side pivot like that. So that's all right. So, you know, overall, not the most articulated figure by any means, but you know, I kind of was expecting there to be a little less articulation on this guy, just because he's so big. He's got such a, you know, bulky nature to him. But still, I think overall I really like this figure. I just like the look of him, you know. So even if I can't get him into the craziest of poses, I just like the overall look of him. I think he's gonna look great on display, and yeah, I think he'll look really good on a shelf. So overall, still a really good figure. I would have liked a little bit more articulation. I'm not gonna lie, but I think overall his design kind of makes up for it, so that's okay. But yeah, so taking a closer look, one last little zoom in on this guy so you can see all his details. You can see he's got some pretty good paint work. I did notice actually there are quite a few mishaps here and there, at least on my copy. So like this portion in the middle right here, just below his pecs or whatever, this little centerpiece right here, it looks like, yeah, it's like green, but it almost looks like it has like a scuff on it. Like there's like a big black kind of piece going over that like very center portion. I don't know if you guys how well you guys can see that in the camera, but there's like a little bit of there's like a whole thing of like black kind of scuff marks going on here. So I don't really know what happened there, but it still looks good. I like to call that battle damage when they have their little scuff marks out of the packaging or when I get them. He's got a few imperfections right here, down here on the leg. You can see like right there on the band, he's got a little scuff there. But overall, his paint job is pretty clean. And one of the most glaring things that actually kind of stood out to me, I think even before I took it out of the packaging, as I looked closer at him, was his head. The head sculpt. He clearly has some orange paint bleeding onto the the lower part of his visor or whatever, like right there, like it should be green inside of there. You can see some of the orange paint kind of bled onto that green part, but I guess that's not too bad. And like looking straight on, you can't really tell. I mean, actually, you kind of can, but I feel like you have to kind of really get up close to really see it good. So that's okay. At least, from a distance, you can't really tell too much. And then here's a nice look at the back. Again, he's got some great detail work. I mean, just look at the paneling for his armor and like, the spine piece going down, all the lines for the panels. Like it looks really, really dope. I really like this guy's armor. And I like the sculpt of the musculature too. Like he actually looks like a superhero inside of this armored suit, because you can see the details for his muscles. You can see the triceps sculpted, the arms right there, like a side view of the arms right there. You can see the muscle groups, the bicep, the tricep, very nicely sculpted. So that's really good. Always a fan of those good sculpts, And then you can see you kind of see the muscle groups right here on the side, the obliques, leading into like the lats and everything for the back. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Definitely gives him a super villain aesthetic. So that's really good. But yeah, man, just overall a very nice figure. I'm pleased with it. I would have liked, like I said, a little bit more articulation, but the overall look of this guy, really, really dope. Very dope. And I needed some more Iron Man villains for the collection, so I'm glad that I finally have this guy to add to my collection. You can see there's some scuffs right there on the leg band. There's a few scuffs, that I've noticed just in like random places throughout this guy, but it's not too bad. And he is an older figure. He's been in the package this whole time, as far as I can tell. So, maybe just sitting in the package over time, he's got a little bit of paint wear, but that's not too bad. You can see a little bit down here on the diaper piece. Like right, zoom in or focus on that. Kind of like right there. You can see that little scuff and stuff. So yeah, he's got like some minor scuffs throughout, but not too bad. Not bad at all. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons and we will get on out of here. All right. So of course I had to try to make sure his feet are as flat as possible so we get a accurate height comparison of these guys. I'm gonna back him up here. And yeah, his legs are kind of like in a wonky position, but I think that's also I think it's just because the hinges on for his legs are kind of in different positions. Like this one's facing forward right now. I think the one on this one is kind of going more to the side, and just the overall mold, like the shape of his legs, is kind of like a curved type of shape. So it's giving him like a slanted look to him. But I mean, he's pretty much standing tall, so this is going to be a pretty accurate height comparison. So of course I had to pull out the Iron Man figure so y'all can see what he looks like next to his arch nemesis, the invincible Iron Man, our hero, savior of the universe, MC Universe. All right, so oh, he looks like he's about to fall. Hold on there, Titanium Man. Hold on, brother. Okay, there we go. Wow. Okay, so it actually looks like Iron Man is standing a little bit taller than him. I thought he was going to be shorter, so that's kind of a surprise. Let's see if I can slide this over a bit. Get them both in the shot there. Yeah, you can see that. Kind of looks like Iron Man standing a little bit taller than this Titanium Man, so that's interesting. Wasn't expecting that, but all right. There's the Mark 6. As you can see, he's got that very bad, very faded paint job, so I'll probably end up getting another one if I can't find a way to repaint it myself. Here he is next to the Mark II from Iron Man 1. And yeah, again, I think the Mark II actually stands a little bit taller than Titanium Man, so he's shorter than I thought. That's interesting. And here we have him next to the Mark I War Machine from Iron Man 2. And there he goes. Yeah, it looks like War Machine, looks like all these figures actually stand a little bit taller than Titanium, and he's actually on a little bit of a shorter scale, so that's surprising. I thought he would be taller than all these guys, to be honest with you. And last but not least, we'll throw him in next to the recently reviewed, or not, oh yeah, well, the recently reviewed Spider-Man. This is the wall-sticking web Spider-Man. And those two actually stand pretty close in height, like pretty much almost like neck and neck. Spidey might be just slightly taller to the top of his head, but they're pretty close. And real quick, something I realized recently, just wanted to throw this in real quick. If you have the retro Peter Parker figure from Hasbro, from the Spider-Man retro wave, you can actually pop on the Peter Parker head onto this wall-sticking web Spider-Man figure, and it actually fits on there perfectly. Camera's falling. Hold on. Yeah, I got you. Hold on. Okay, there we go. But yeah, you can actually stick that Peter Parker head on there, and it actually doesn't look half bad. Really, these glasses honestly get on my nerves. I'll probably end up taking them off at some point, but you lift them up and you can see his eyes under there. But yeah, this retro Peter Parker head actually doesn't look half bad on this body. So I've actually had him on display like this, holding the masked head sculpt, and I actually really like it. So I might do that from now on. But yeah, last but not least, here he is next to the McFarlane Spider-Man, my boy, the GOAT. Alright, I'm gonna slide the camera over just a bit here so y'all can get a better look at that. So there's how those two look. And yeah, of course, McFarlane Spider-Man being on the taller side, he's about exactly 6.5 inches, maybe a little bit taller. So he's a little bit taller than Titanium Man, as you would expect. But there it is, guys. There's my review. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment. If you have this figure, let me know what your experience with it was. Do you like this figure overall? Does the articulation kind of, bum you out? Like I said, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I definitely would have liked a little bit more articulation. Maybe even like a torso joint, some kind of like ab crunch or something. I think that would have been nice. But overall, this guy is still a really nice figure. I do like it quite a bit, and I am very happy to have it in my collection now. So yeah, let me know. Leave a comment down below, and also thank you to my new subscriber. Really appreciate you for subscribing. Yeah, guys, be sure to subscribe because I'm gonna have a lot of videos, coming soon. A lot of awesome content, so be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications to catch all my videos. But this has been your boy Bio, keeping the action going as we always do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace and love.